The Clown Motel is not a location. It is a psychic event horizon, a place where the collective unconscious of failed festivity goes to decompose, not into dust, but into a sticky, residual form of malevolence. This is the argument we must conduct over the next 15 to 20,000 characters. This is the forensic examination of a narrative that uses the clown, that ubiquitous tragicomic figure, not as a monster, but as a Jungian testament to the decay of the Puer Aeternus. The Puer Aeternus, the eternal boy, is the figure of eternal youth, of arrested development, of the refusal to engage with the demands of reality and the necessary burden of commitment. In its light aspect, it is Peter Pan, charming, free, flying. In its shadow aspect, and this is where Clown Motel performs its ghastly autopsy, it is the figure of absolute stasis, the individual who remains emotionally and psychically underdeveloped, clinging to the trappings of childhood, while the biological self and the world around them marches relentlessly toward decay. The motel itself, standing isolated in the arid nothingness of the Nevada landscape, is the physical manifestation of this arrested development. It is a monument to what never grew up, a repository for the literal toys and symbols of a corrupted youth. Consider the aesthetics: primary colors, exaggerated forms, and an unrelenting, performative joviality plastered over a deep, structural rot. The exterior promises fun, a brief escape, a carnival moment. The interior delivers only the chilling certainty of abandonment and psychological entropy. It is the theme park of the soul, permanently closed, its rides rusted and deadly. The guests who arrive are not random tourists, they are psychological migrants. They are individuals in moments of narrative and existential limbo. They are on their way to something, or more pressingly, running away from something. Each character carries an unresolved trauma, a narrative gap, a psychic debt they are attempting to outrun. And what does the Puer Aeternus in its most malignant form do to those who are trying to mature? It traps them. It seeks to reduce them, to infantilize them, to bring them down into its own perpetual, terrifying playground. The clown is the ultimate manifestation of the mask, the persona. Carl Jung defined the persona as the public face we show the world, the mask designed to make a desired impression on others. The clown's face is the ultimate persona, extreme, exaggerated, meticulously applied, designed to elicit a singular, prescribed reaction, laughter or at least spectacle. But what happens when the wearer of the mask forgets, or perhaps never knew, what lies beneath it? In the motel, the clown statues are not inanimate objects of fear. They are frozen personas. They are the discarded egos of those who failed to integrate their shadow. They stand silently watching, judging not with eyes but with the eternal painted smile of the unfulfilled promise. That smile is the great terrifying paradox, a promise of joy that is functionally indistinguishable from a rictus of eternal despair. It is the laugh track of a life that ran out of material 50 years ago. The film's primary horror, therefore, is not the jump scare of a man in makeup, but the philosophical terror of unmasking. The violence, when it occurs, is a secondary visceral manifestation of a much deeper psychic tearing. The clowns are less murderers and more agents of disintegration. They destroy the guests' personas, their social selves, before destroying their bodies. They force the victims to confront the futility of their own masks, their attempts to perform adulthood, before they are consumed by the primal, unintegrated energy of the motel. Let's dissect the core symbol, the clown's makeup. It is the absolute denial of nuance. It paints on extreme joy or extreme sorrow. It is binary, childish, unsophisticated. The Puer Aeternus rejects the complexity of adult emotion, the gray areas of commitment, grief, and long-term love, in favor of the immediate sensational hit. The violence of Clown Motel is similarly binary. It lacks nuance, it is immediate, and it is senseless. The pure, unthinking eruption of the id, masquerading in the guise of a costume that is supposed to signify pure, innocent fun. The motel, as a psychological setting, operates on the principle of the return of the repressed. The clowns are the repressed material of the American consciousness, the darker side of showmanship, the hidden malice beneath the veneer of entertainment, the lingering trauma of childhood fears that were never fully processed. The guests bring their personal repressed memories, their individual griefs, and the motel amplifies them, weaponizes them, and returns them in the form of the Puer Aeternus's violent, attention-seeking outburst. The entertainment, has turned on the audience. The sound design, which you emphasize as paramount, is the key to this psychic dissection. The audible world of Clown Motel must be a constant, subtle, psychological assault. We are not interested in loud bangs, but in the sonic residue of abandonment. The creaking floorboards are the echoes of a childhood game that ended abruptly. The distant, distorted music box melody is the memory of a nursery rhyme twisted into a death chant. The silence, punctuated only by the heavy, deliberate breathing of the unseen clown, is the silence of the internalized critic, the shadow figure observing the ego's slow demise. The voice of the narrator, the Cinedark persona, must embody the slow, deliberate, almost hypnotic rhythm of the psychotherapist, guiding the patient into a confrontation with their own repressed material. We use the cadence of certainty to anchor the listener against the swirling chaos of the on-screen B-roll. The failure of the escape mechanism is crucial to the Puer Aeternus thesis. The characters believe they can simply drive away from the motel, just as the Puer Aeternus believes they can simply walk away from responsibility or commitment. But the motel, being a psychic trap, moves with them. It is not an external threat. It is an internal landscape that they carry until they face the repressed material, the shadow that the clowns embody. The narrative insists on this truth. You cannot outrun your unintegrated self. The ultimate tragedy of the clown motif is its association with the loss of the sacred fool. The traditional fool, the jester, or even the original clown archetype, was a necessary component of the social order. The only one permitted to speak truth to power, to point out the absurdities of the king or the crowd. They were integrated into the system. The Clown Motel clown is the profane fool, divorced from society, alienated, operating outside the ethical bounds, and using their privilege not for social truth, but for private, destructive rage. They are not pointing out the absurdities, they are the absurdity weaponized. We must speak of the Shadow's uniform. The clown costume is a uniform of pure, unadulterated id. It grants the wearer license to transgress, to be chaotic, to be fundamentally not themselves. It is the ultimate alibi for the ego. The horror lies in the suspicion that the mask is not hiding something, but is in fact revealing the authentic but rejected core of the wearer. That the clown is not a role, but the final true identity of the Puer Aeternus, who finally violently renounced the pretense of maturity. The person is gone. Only the red nose and the painted grin remain. The motel room keys, the cheap furniture, the flickering neon sign, these are not plot devices. They are symbols of the provisional existence. The Puer Aeternus cannot build a home, a life, or a lasting relationship. They only inhabit temporary, disposable spaces. The motel room is the perfect metaphor for the uncommitted life. Sterile, interchangeable, and designed only for a fleeting, superficial stay. The clowns, then, are the physical manifestation of the cost of living provisionally. They are the debt collectors for a life that was never truly owned. They demand the ultimate payment, the final definitive commitment to death, a perverse form of maturity forced upon the victims. In the end, Clown Motel forces us to ask, what do we bury under the laughter? What part of ourselves did we refuse to allow to grow up? And how long until that repressed, playful, yet infinitely cruel eternal boy comes back for its terrifying final performance? The answer is waiting in the silence between the screams, a sound that is not technically a sound at all. It is the sound of the paint cracking.